In Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, Johnny Blaze is hiding out in Europe when he's called upon to stop the devil who is trying to take human form.
The Rider's going to come out. He'll destroy whoever's got it coming.
I'm not afraid of you.
You should be.
I assume many people, if not most people, didn't really like the first Ghost Rider movie from 2007. The problem with it was, in my opinion, that it kind of took almost a silly concept, I guess, like a ridiculous concept, and tried to be really serious about it. And especially with Nicolas Cage, you know, it just was kind of a recipe for disaster. So when I saw the trailers, I guess, and I actually saw a lot of footage at Comic-Con of how they made the movie and stuff like that, for Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, the sequel, I was really excited because it looked like they were going to not be taking it seriously, and it was going to be kind of like more of a fun movie. And after just getting back from the midnight screening of Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance in 3D, I have to say that this movie was pretty bad. Get it? See what I
Good one.
did? Like badass.
Yeah.
I made it sound like I was going to say bad, though.
It was good.
Now, I just wanted to use that pun. It was not overall badass, but the parts that were good really were badass.
Yeah, they were. Now, neither of us are really too into the comics, but we can both judge that the scenes when Ghost Rider was there, it was amazing.
Right. And I mean, like, I don't know how, like, actual fans of the Ghost Rider comics would react to it, but I thought that, like, the thing about it is I can gauge how cool it was based on the fact that I wanted to be Ghost Rider in this movie.
Yeah.
And I did not want to in the other one. I was like, oh, God, I'd rather die. But in this one, Ghost Rider was awesome. Like, the scenes when Ghost Rider was Ghost Rider were really, really great.
He had such, like, a presence on the screen.
Definitely. But unfortunately, it's not like that the whole time, which we will get into. But first of all, the plot. What plot? You know
what?
It really wasn't a very good plot. And, but you know what? I didn't need a good plot. To be honest with you, I really didn't care about the plot until it started to be only about the plot. That's the thing.
I would have had it simpler. Believe it or not.
Honestly, I would have just had the Ghost Rider just screwing around for the whole movie.
Ghost Rider, he kills, and that's it.
And that's it. Because the thing is, I want to say the first act of the movie was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of the Ghost Rider being awesome, and the 3D was really great, too. And all the scenes with the Ghost Rider and 3D... Am I saying the Ghost Rider? Is that right, or is it just Ghost Rider? I feel like a jackass. All right.
Ghost Rider.
I feel like such a square. The Ghost Rider. The 3D in those scenes was great, especially the very first shot, just for some reason. Remember, in my seat, I was like, whoa!
Yeah, that was incredible.
But unfortunately, in the second act, like I said, it starts to become actually about the plot, rather than just about Ghost Rider being cool with the plot kind of just being something to string the movie along, which is really what it started out as, and I thought that was fine.
Yeah.
But it starts to become about the plot, and we lose interest big time.
Quickly.
And then at the end, I would say, like in the last act, it got a little bit back to it, but not as full as it was at the beginning. Like, the first act was easily... like, really, really cool, and the rest of it was just whatever.
Directing-wise and visually, like we've been saying, I was really intrigued by the directors and the camera work and how they do all this crazy stuff to film this movie, and it shows. It looked incredible. The scenes when he's Ghost Rider.
Of course, yeah, the good parts. Now, the cool thing about this movie is that the directors really went above and beyond what they needed to do for this thing. Like, if you see, they're like on harnesses, flying around and stuff like that, and I could easily picture them like running around with cameras, and it just looked really cool. It almost had like a home movie feel to it, but not found footage.
No.
Almost like people just having fun, which I thought was interesting. And these, of course, are the guys that did Crank, and they, you know, it shows. It really kind of, some scenes felt like Crank, but with Ghost Rider. And, but I thought that was great. This is almost like a genre of its own, just Ghost Rider, you know? It kind of was just its own thing, and I can't really compare it to anything else other than, I guess, Crank, but even that wasn't as crazy as, you know, some of the stuff in this.
This was crazy. Especially with the road scenes with the motorcycle, how quickly... The camera was just to get
whipping
into
around.
Look how cool the motorcycle looks, and then it would zoom out and it would be following them. It was just visually so cool.
Acting wise, and this is a big one because everybody wants to talk about Nick Cage, which let's talk about Nick Cage after the rest of the cast. I thought overall everybody was just fine. They're really just kind of whatever, you know, filler. But you had a specific person you wanted to mention.
There was a surprise of Christopher Lambert, Highlander himself from the old movie, was in it just playing a monk with tattoos on his face.
No
He's
big
a
deal.
monk, whatever, screw it.
And also, I forgot to mention Idris Elba. I thought was really cool in this movie. I like him in general. I thought he was
fun.
cool.
Yeah, he was fun. And that leads us to Nicolas Cage.
Of course. Now, I thought that now in the first movie, I thought that he was pretty lame.
Yeah.
But it was really just because of the movie itself. Because in
Yeah.
this one, he was similar, but much more self-aware, as the whole movie was. It was very self-aware and almost, it was like ironic.
Yeah.
You know, it was like making fun of itself the whole time. And so was he, really, you know? So it worked in this movie because of all that. And I thought he was, you know, at his deadpan best.
I felt a little uncomfortable, though. Like, I actually kind of felt like he was the only person in the movie that was
Doing that?
maybe taking it seriously.
No, I don't think
And
so.
in
I think he
fact-
knows that it's silly.
You really?
I think
Oh,
so,
man.
yes.
The parts when he was shouting and yelling and being Nick Cage like crazy, I just thought that was like really ridiculous.
See, now, I actually thought that was great. I loved that because it was, like I said, I mean, you don't think so? I think so. I think that he was being totally self-aware about the whole thing. I think that everything about the movie, aside from the second act, like, that's what I'm saying, it was very odd. The beginning of it was totally self-aware and basically just saying, like, it's Ghost Rider, it's ridiculous, let's do this. And it seemed like Nick Cage was doing the same thing, but, you know, once again, the second act, that, you know, it really does suck because it could have been a lot more fun.
Yeah.
But I think that he was doing, his thing, and he knew that he was doing his thing, you know?
I was entertained. You know?
Oh, definitely. It was an entertaining movie, except for the damn second act.
Yeah.
That was not entertaining, but the rest of it was. Honestly, the first act made it worth it, in my opinion, because it was very cool.
Yeah.
Those animated sequences were cool as well. And just overall, I did enjoy it. I'm upset that it got dull in the second act, but overall, I did enjoy it. I loved all the Ghost Rider sequences. I'd love to just skip through on the DVD or something and watch all the Ghost Rider sequences.
I would honestly get the DVD. I think the price of admission is how much work they put into the visual action scenes.
Definitely.
They were so great.
So let us know in the comments what you thought of Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. Let us know what you thought of the plot, like I said, where it kind of gets slow in the second act. Let us know what you thought of that. Let us know if you saw it in 3D, what you thought of the 3D, and let us know what you thought of the first one. Did you like it? Did you hate it, you know, in comparison to this one?
And let us know, did you think Nicolas Cage was being serious? Or not? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, let us know what you thought of Nick Cage and the rest of the cast and all them, I guess. And that's pretty much it.